I am making a Sacred Beast Eldlich deck profile primarily because I was wanting an excuse to play Eldlich again. Or Eldlich. I was wanting an excuse to play Sacred Beast again, and I finally managed to get all the stuff for Eldlich. And I will go ahead and start off by saying the main deck is 41 cards with one card I would add, which I'll get to when I get to it. And the extra deck is currently only 10 cards, because I'm still trying to work out what the last 5 should be. One of which I was thinking about being Barricade Board Blocker. Let's start off with the Sacred Beast monsters. I play 3 copies of Chaos Summoning Beast. Chaos Summoning Beast lets you tribute it to special summon one of the 3 Sacred Beasts from your hand. And then while it's in your graveyard, you can banish it to add Fallen Paradise from your deck to your hand. Then I play 3 copies of Dark Beckoning Beast. Dark Beckoning Beast has the effect that when it's normal summoned, you can add a card from your deck to your hand that mentions the Sacred Beasts, except for another Dark Beckoning Beast from your deck to your hand, and then once per turn, while its cards face up on the field, you can have an additional normal summoner set for a Dark Fiend that has 0 attack and defense. And there is actually a 2-card combo with this deck that lets you draw 2 cards, which I think is really fun, as well as getting 2 Sacred Beasts out, which I'll go over that combo when I get to the end. Then I also play 2 copies of Dark Summoning Beast. Dark Summoning Beast lets you tribute it, special on a Sacred Beast from your deck, ignoring summoning conditions. And then you can banish it from your graveyard to be able to add a Sacred Beast from deck to hand. And one thing I just realized I forgot is when you use its effect on field to summon a Sacred Beast, your battle phase that turn is skipped. Then for the monsters, I play 1 copy of Raviel, Lord of Phantasms, Shimmering Scraper. This card just lets you double the attack of a Raviel you control and gives it the ability to attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. And you can special summon it from your hand just by attributing 3 monsters. But you don't usually want to summon this unless you need the 4,000 damage on board. But like I said, usually you'll keep this in hand because you'll use it to make your at least 4,000 attack Raviel into an 8,000 attack monster. Then I play 2 copies of Uriah, Lord of Searing Flames. Uriah has the effect that it gains 1,000 attack for each continuous trap in your graveyard. And then once per turn, you target one set spell or trap your opponent controls. Destroy it, and your opponent cannot activate that targeted spell or trap until, well, your opponent just can't activate it. And then the other thing is it cannot be normal summon or set. It must be special summoned from your hand by sending 3 face-up traps you control to the grave. Which, the way you summon the Sacred Beast with this deck is never going to be the correct way. Then I play 2 copies of Hamon, Lord of Striking Thunder. Hamon has the effect that while it's in defense position, your opponent's not allowed to attack any other monster besides this card. And if it destroys a monster in battle, then your opponent takes 1,000 points of damage. Which, there was a time I actually used this with Mount of the Bound Creator, so that when it destroys a monster, your opponent takes 2,000 damage. Then I also play 2 copies of Raviel, Lord of Phantasms. Raviel has the effect of you contribute when your opponent normal summons a monster, you can special summon a Phantasm token, which is I believe a level 4 Dark Fiend with 1,000 attack and defense. Okay, my bad, it's level 1. And then once per turn, you contribute 1 monster you control, so that Raviel gains attack equal to that attributed monster's attack till the end of the turn. So one thing I like doing with it is I'll activate Change of Heart, which is technically in this deck's side deck. Steal an opponent's monster, tribute it for Raviel's effect, so that Raviel gains the attack points. And then I will have Shimmering Scraper double Raviel's attack. Then for the Eldlich monsters, I play 2 copies of Eldlich the Golden Lord. The main thing I would change is that I would play 3 instead of 2. Eldlich the Golden Lord has the effect that once per turn you can send this card and a spell or trap in your hand to the graveyard, target 1 card on the field, destroy it. Which I think it destroys. It might send. Okay, it's you target one card on the field and send it to the graveyard, and then while its card's in the graveyard, you can send a spell or trap you control to the graveyard, return this card to your hand, and then you can special summon a zombie monster from your hand that gains 1,000 attack and defense and can't be destroyed by your opponent's card effects. Or it can't be destroyed by card effects until the end of your opponent's next turn. Moving on to the spells, I play one copy of Dimension Fusion Destruction. This lets you banish Sacred Beast to summon a Phantasm monster. One Cerulean Skyfire and Fallen Paradise.
Okay, now I'm done. I think I'm done running.
Cerulean Skyfire just lets you. It makes so that if you control a face-up Hamon, Laura, Striking Thunder, when an opponent's spell card would resolve, you can switch the Hamon to defense to then negate to negate its effects. Which this is actually one of the only 2 ways I know of they can actually negate super polymerization. Because it doesn't activate to negate, so you can still be able to negate the super polymerization since it does not activate. Since super polymerization says neither player can activate cards or effects in response, because it negates at the resolution. And then Fallen Paradise makes it so that your Sacred Beasts and Armatile cannot be targeted or destroyed by opponent's card effects. And then once per turn, if you control one of the Sacred Beasts or Armatile, you can draw 2 cards. Then I play 3 copies of Opening of the Spirit Gates. Opening of the Spirit Gates on activation lets you add a monster that lists the Sacred Beasts from your deck to your hand, and then once per turn you can send a card from your hand to the graveyard to special summon a Dark Fiend with 0 attack and defense from your graveyard. And then the final effect it has is if you control a level 10 monster, you can add a continuous spell from your graveyard to your hand. Then also play 1 copy of 7 Cities of the Golden Land, 1 copy of Eldlich of White Destiny, and 1 copy of Eldlich of Black Awakening. 7 Cities of the Golden Land has the effect that during the main phase you can fusion summon a fusion monster from your extra deck using zombie monsters you control from your hand or field as fusion material. And then if a zombie monster is special summoned by card effect, except in the damage step, you can target 1 set spell or trap card your opponent controls. That card cannot be activated until the end of the turn. And then Eldlich of White Destiny is special summon a zombie monster from your hand or graveyard. But if you don't control an Eldlich monster, it has to be Golden Lord, which it will always be Golden Lord since this is not a zombie deck. And then Black Awakening lets you special summon a zombie monster from hand or deck in defense position, which again will have to be a Golden Lord. They each have the effect that during the main phase you can banish this card from your graveyard, set a golden land spell or trap directly from your deck, and you can only use 1 of their name effects per turn. So if you activate the effect on field, you can't use its grave effect. Or if you use its grave effect, you cannot activate another one from hand. Then I play 3 copies of Cursed Eldland. Eldland lets once per turn lets you pay 800 life points to add a golden, or what was it? Add an Eldlich monster or golden land spell trap from your deck to your hand. And if it's sent from the spell and trap zone to the graveyard, you can send an Eldlich monster or golden land spell trap from your deck to the grave. The only other downside of this card is while it is face up, you can only attack with zombies. Which isn't an issue because normally you'll have an Eldlich to send it to the graveyard. Moving on to the traps, I play 3 copies of Awakening of the Sacred Beasts. Awakening of the Sacred Beasts has 3 effects depending on how many of the Sacred Beasts you control, as well as the additional effect of if you control a level 10 monster, you can add a continuous trap from your graveyard to your hand. But if you control 1 of the Sacred Beasts, then each time your opponent normal or special summons a monster, you gain life points equal to that monster's original attack. If you control 2 or more, you negate the effects of all your opponent's, or negate the activated effects of all monsters your opponent controls. If you control all 3, any monster is sent to your opponent's graveyard or removed from play instead. And I don't know if I mentioned it, but you get each of the effects you get in response for each different Sacred Beast. And then I also play 3 copies of Eldlich of Scarlet Sanguine. Scarlet Sanguine has the effect to let you special summon an Eldlich the Golden Lord from your deck or graveyard. And then you can banish it from your graveyard to set a Golden Land spell or trap directly from your deck. Then I play 3 copies of Wakaro of the Golden Land. When you activate Wakaro, it will summon itself as a monster, and then if you have an Eldlich the Golden Lord, then you can target 1 card in your opponent's graveyard and banish it. And then during the end phase, you can banish this card from your graveyard, except you banish a card from your graveyard to set an Elixir from your deck. However, you can only use one of the 2 effects per turn, so if you activate it on field, you can't banish during the end phase, or if you banish during the end phase, you can't activate it on field. And Conquistador of the Golden Land, which I play 3 of, is the exact same way, where it has an on-field effect and a grave effect. You can only use one of the each. And its grave is the exact same as Wakaro, except its on-field effect is you can activate it to special summon it as a monster, and then if you control an Eldlich, you can target 1 card in the field and destroy it. That is it for the main deck. The only thing I would change is I would add a 3rd Eldlich the Golden Lord. For the extra deck, I play 1 copy of Solomon Great Almirage. That's just in here because you need it in order to get one of the materials engraved for the 2-card combo. The other things I would add would be like Nightmare Phoenix, Cerberus Unicorn, IP Masquerena, Barricade Bug Blocker. Those will probably be the 5 I'll add. They also play 1 copy of Super Dreadnought Rail Cannon Gustav Max. This is just in here so that you can use overlay 2 of the Eldlich monsters. Send detached material, burn your opponents for 2,000. 1 copy of Rail Cannon Superdora. Superdora has the effect during the player's turn, you detach material to then target 1 face-up monster on the field. That target's unaffected by card effects except for its own until the end of the turn. Then I play 1 copy of number 35, Ravenous Tarantula, 1 copy of number 84, Pain Gainer, and 1 copy of number 77, The 7 Sins. The first 2 spiders are only in its deck, so you can summon 7 Sins, where you just use 2 Eldlich, the Golden Lord, summon Tarantula, then use Tarantula, summon Pain Gainer, then use Pain Gainer, summon 7 Sins. And then the 7 Sins, I apologize, I haven't read it for a while, has the effect that you can also exceed summons using a rank 10 or 11 Dark Exceeds you control. All materials are attached to this card. If summoned this way, the following effect cannot be activated this turn. Once per turn, you can detach 2 materials from this card, banish as many special summon monsters your opponent controls as possible, then attach one of those banished monsters to this card's material. If this face-up card on the field would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can detach material instead. This mainly is in here because it's a 4,000 body that can interrupt your opponent. It's mainly just in here because it's a 4,000 body. This deck is very good at being able to put 4,000 bodies in play. Now let's play 1 copy of number XX Utopic Dark Infinity. Utopic Dark Infinity it just has the effect of when a monster is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can attach a material from this card, then destroy that monster. Wait. When a monster is destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you attach from this card, then target that monster. Okay. I read it wrong. If a monster is destroyed by battle, you detach material, target the destroyed monster, special summon it, get to your field and defense position, then you can target one other special summon monster you control, gain life points equal to its original attack. You can only use this effect of Utopic Dark Infinity once per turn. The main thing I use this just for if I need to link climb, as I can use to Eldlich Golden Lord, summon this, attack into something, detach, summon that monster to my field. And if needed to, it can also increase life points. So if you're getting close to time, as much as I hate to say it, you can activate Dark Infinity's effect, target one of your Sacred Beasts, gain life points equal to its attack, which usually will be at least 4,000. Then to finish off the extra deck, I play 1 copy of Eldlich the Mad Golden Lord. Eldlich the Mad Golden Lord has the effect of its name becomes Eldlich the Golden Lord while it is on the field. Cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. And you contribute a zombie monster and target one face-up monster your opponent controls. Take control of it, but it cannot attack or activate its effects. And you can only use this effect of Eldlich the Mad Golden Lord once per turn. Again, I just like it because it can be able to steal opponents' monsters and then use them to link climb or for my own tributes. Like, steal an opponent's monster, sacrifice it for Raviel's effect, and then hit really hard. Then I play one copy of Armor Tile the Chaos Phantasm, Phantom of Fury, and one copy of Armor Tile the Chaos Phantasm. Armor Tile the Chaos Phantasm has the effect of it can't be destroyed in battle, or I think it can't be destroyed card effects either. Okay, no, it can't be destroyed by battle, and then during your, is it your turn or your opponent's? Okay, no, and then during your turn only, it gains 10,000 attack. So Armor Tile is just in here because it's a really big body. And then Armor Tile of Chaos Phantasm, Phantom of Fury, has the effect of when special summoned, you can change control of this monster, and when control of this monster is changed, banish all cards you control, and then special summon an Armor Tile of the Chaos Phantasm from your extra deck. So what you do is you summon it, activate its effect, give it to your opponent, then its effect will mandatorily activate, banishing all cards they control, and then summoning Armor Tile of the Chaos Phantasm to your field. And then you punch them really hard in the face. Which I actually did that one time, and my opponent lived because they had a Karibo in hand. And if I remember correctly, I then got punched really hard because they managed to draw a starter for a 1-card combo. But anyway, like I said, the main things I'd add to the extra deck will probably end up being Nightmare Phoenix, Unicorn, Cerberus, IP Masquerena, and Barricade Board Blocker just because it can protect the field spell. But if you have any ideas what I can do to improve the deck, any ideas for decks like this to be made in the future, or decks like this to face each other, feel free to comment down below. I am currently working on a thing that is the Wicked Gods versus the Egyptian Gods versus the Nordic Gods versus the Sacred Beasts. But if you have any suggestions, feel free to comment down below, and thanks for watching. Oh wait, I entirely forgot about the combo. So for the combo work, you just need to see... I'm glad I remembered about this combo at last minute. You just need to see any combination of 2 with Dark Beckoning Beast, or you just need to see either of these 2 with either of these 2, or even these 2. But I'll just say open Summoning Beast and Spirit Gates. So you activate Spirit Gates, add Dark Summoning Beast, normal the Dark Beckoning Beast, add Chaos Summoning Beast. The second normal summon for the Chaos Summoning Beast. Then link off the Dark Beckoning Beast for Almirage. Then you'll use Opening Spirit Gates, discarding the Dark Summoning Beast, summoning the Dark Summoning Beast, because Opening the Spirit Gates does not target, so you can technically summon the monster you discarded. Then you'll tribute it, so that you can special summon one of the Sacred Beasts from your deck. So, say Raviel. And then you will banish it from your graveyard to then be able to add Haman. Tribute the Chaos Summoning Beast. Special summon Haman. Usually you want it in attack mode so that you can switch to defense off of Cerulean Skyfire. Then you banish the Chaos Summoning Beast from grave to then be able to add your copy of Fallen Paradise, activate your Fallen Paradise, and then Fallen Paradise lets you draw 2 cards. So now you have Opening the Spirit Gates with 2 Sacred Beasts, and you still have 5 cards left in your hand. One thing I thought about putting in the deck was Parallel Exceed, so then you can summon it to Almirage's Open Zone, and then be able to make a number 60 to Gar's Timeless to draw 2 more. But I couldn't really find a way to put it in this deck without making it E43 or 44, where I can find the last Eldlich the Golden Lord. But now that I have done the 2-card combo, If you have any comments, feel free to leave them down below. Thanks for watching.